Greetings, I'm Jonas. Okay, got new background. You can tell you have the face here, the sun. The idea behind this is to help with the echo. I'm not sure if it's helping at all. The cat's already pulled it down a couple of times already. I have another one put on the wall over there. They took that one down. So, and they moved the rug. So I have a rug they moved. They took down the other tapestry. So we're just trying something new. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna use this one or another one. I'm just experimenting at this point, just something different. So I have these things poking out of my head, basically. So yeah, I just felt the sun's a good start. So we'll see where that goes. All right. Overall, yeah, I don't know where they are right now. It's just causing me enough. They're going from 9 lives to 0 lives. They keep that up. Jeez, that's such a pain in my ass. Every time I put something up, it's on the floor. They do that with my clothes in the closet. They grab that and pull it down too. So now I know what to wear tomorrow. So, that's a pain in the ass. Okay. So Zeta Gray, fifth dimension healing. We're going into that in a second. Andromedan Stargates, which I wasn't aware of, but apparently there's some kind of frequency there. And Thoth. I put the Egyptian guys, so I know people are what I'm talking about. So, all right, we're going to a little bit of update here. I'm still behind. I'm still in August. Yeah, that's them climbing something right now. There's Avatar.com. Oops. You have the shop here. I'm on August 31st, I think now. Same situation here. Webinar. Sign up. Social network behind the scenes. So, okay, for Zetas. Zetas get pretty much a hard rap. Actually, I did earlier channeling. There's actually, I think the Zetas are like horrible and everything, but there's also Saturn beings that are here that are doing things they probably should not be doing, which you don't probably hear about that ever. Maybe somebody knows about it, but of course, it's hard. Connecting the energy signatures are a little bit difficult, but Zetas are like us. They've been through a lot of stuff. They've been programmed. They've been, obviously have less emotion, but they've still been through a lot of, trauma. What do you think about the human on other alien beings? Look at us as just horrible, just us. Even if we get manipulated by other beings, it's still us. We're the ones that are messed up, allowing it to happen to begin with. So, people talk about the Greys and the reptilians being horrible, but the human race, is not. The human race is allowing it to happen. So obviously, people have the victim mentality, but still, the idea is for us to move up and beyond that. But obviously, we're not quite there just yet. So going to some of that, there's higher dimensional Zetas, like there are higher dimensional humans. Just the ones that are here are kind of a pain in the neck, of course, but there are ones here that are actually peaceful at the same time. We just don't hear about them. We just hear about the ones that are programming us and trying to put all kinds of stuff into us. So I just felt like going into it. I did it for the Patreon, but this is like a preview of it, you could say. And Andromedan Stargates. I'm not sure where that's going to go. That sort of came out of nowhere. And Thoth. Haven't heard from Thoth in a while. See what productive. See if anything productive comes out of that. Most likely in some form. Just don't expect a huge amount of miracles, but the frequency is changing behind the scenes. Just we're not always seeing it on a public level. It's just, I believe things are improving. You're just not seeing it on the surface. And it depends on what you're looking at, also, which all depends on your point of view. So, yeah, the world's going to have chaotic energies. It's the way it is. You don't have to let it affect you, though. So, all right, Zeta energies and Andromedan and Stargates. Okay, all right. So, blessings. Yeah, it's weird. I'm not used to this. It's weird having something behind me like that. It's like, what's that? I'm used to having it look like a hospital or something like that. So, a sane asylum. So, it's quite an improvement. So, okay, all right, blessings. Greetings. We are the Zetas. Yes, our connection to you is like a brotherhood or a sisterhood. We feel we are bound to your existence for our own learning, as we have lost a great deal of ourselves due to our own actions. We're connected to humans to remember ourselves, to repair the damage we have done to our civilizations. Yes, not all Zetas are impacted by negativity, but those that are here are trying to improve themselves in some form. Even if they are causing difficulties here, they're also trying to get attention from themselves. It's like some Zetas can connect to your world like a drug addict. It's like your world is their addiction. And they can do some horrible things here, yes. But also they're being healed not easily. But many of them have contracts here to incarnate, to be autistic children, to repair a lot of their, because some of them do want to rehabilitate, but they don't know how. They don't know how to fix themselves. So incarnating your world is one way of doing it. Have an interaction with your planet as a way for our civilization to heal. For us to heal a lot of impacts from our, once again, our traumas. And manipulation from other beings, like reptilians, but they're going through the same thing we are going through. Yes, there's always another being causing difficulty. We've been programmed by countless beings. Some have been Orions, of just being alien beings that are more confident than we are, where they feel like they have the control, the upper hand. And your world is slightly discovering it within your own selves of who is here. You already know on an energy level, but the idea is for it to be seen here visually, for you to fully recognize the frequencies that are here, but acknowledge it on a physical level. In what way it works for you. Seeing alien beings here physically is going to take some time, because most of your civilization is shut down due to Zeta influence. And we ourselves have been battling the AI. Of course, we become connected to it more than most civilizations. So we are disconnecting from it. So many of us are actually protecting your world from getting too pulled into it. But it's up to the individual also. Some souls are going to do what they're going to do. Like on your planet, some souls are just going to give themselves the technology. And what you can do about it, it's entirely up to you. But yes, there are Zetas here that are causing much difficulties because they can. They're like teenagers. They're, once again, they see your world as a drug. They can't let it go. As you go into your own healing process, because many of you have doubts of the Zetas or you're angry at them for various reasons. Some of you have relationships with them more than you might realize. Especially if you've had like a Palladian soul that get manipulated and became a Zeta grade, and Zeta became troublesome. So, because you can't get trapped into an incarnation, such as a Zeta lifetime, and not be able to get out until you self-love, actually, and you can free yourself. Same as your world. Many souls get stuck as human and can't free themselves, and they go through the same thing over and over again also. So blessings from our collective to yours. Greetings to you. We are the Andromedans. There is a lot of pushback from alien beings that are here. Yes, many aliens are here as politicians, here to heal your planet. Of course, they're not always seen that way. There's a lot of human hybrids that are here that are part of your ground crew. The Andromedan ground crew is about healing your environment to the best of our abilities. Many of us can appear as human. Of course, you're not always going to see it, but some of you get an idea. Well, we'll let you know. Most Andromedans feel no root needs to tell humans that we are here, but we do our influence as best as possible, basically to navigate your world to a more positive frequency level, where you can take back your planet. Stargate technologies, much of that is we are part of healing that, shutting them down. And yes, some of your people have been pulled into them, mostly military. And there's also realities where humans have been abducted. Yes, are living in the 1950s on another reality. And not even realizing it. For energy, for just an observation, some beings are still observing. Yes, a lot of strange things happening here. I mean, you imagine if you're living in a reality where you think everything's fine, and you're actually kind of like in a experimental reality, which does happen. Now, why they are there is various different reasons. As you shed a lot of the belief systems here, you'll be able to see what we're speaking about more clearly. The belief systems here, as you know, are kind of prison bars of the mind. You are slowly releasing them and just letting your imagination, which is actually more of your higher self, letting you know what is here. Just taking that leap of just not being fearful of anything. Allow your soul to speak. Because right now the souls aren't really, you have to be told, no, the soul has to shut itself down, which also can easily cause cancer and any other ailments. Many feel like why they feel so isolated is because of the belief systems, as you know. It's hard to breathe here. So you're shifting that frequency level. So you're basically your soul it's like learning how to walk again. It's letting your soul breathe and connect to what it truly is connected to. Allow an astral plane to open up more, other realities to open up, basically for telepathy and what is your gifts to allow more of it to be activated. Whatever your belief system is, it really doesn't matter. It's you being you, and that's what matters most. And that's when you learn about each other more clearly. Of course, that's when it gets more interesting because now you become more diverse. Right now, humans are being, as you know, kind of all copies of each other, basically, right? You're basically forced to think a certain way and just be the same like everyone else, basically what they call normal. As you erase that energy field, you go more into who you truly are, whatever that might be. And just your world's stress lifts. And the lifting of that stress, yes, connects you to the higher realms a lot easier. So this Stargate technology is more of a, actually, yes, fourth dimensional, but also a third dimensional program. Well, a lot of beings escaped from this planet in the past. Of course, others built them to invade your Earth at the same time. So all depends on the calibration, how you program it, where you're going to go. Of course, there are other ways of travel, but that's one that's quickest for some beings. They just know they're Stargates, and they don't get injured either when they do travel. Meaning they don't get mental manipulation or anything like that for the most part. Yes, they have to really know what they're doing to get involved with that. It's kind of like operating a Stargate is like flying a plane. Obviously, you're not in the sky, but it's just like having the right instruments, knowing what to do for it to operate correctly. And some of you have been doing this much in astral, from what I can see. Well, doing an activation of yourself. Some of you are actually literally trying to leave the world, as you probably know. You can leave through a Stargate, at least on an angelic level, like your soul can leave through it. I know it sounds a little bit strange, but you'd be surprised how powerful many of you are. But normally, I mean, souls can't get pulled into Stargates very easily. Once again, it's not part of your normal conversations. So even on an energy level, because the Stargates are fourth dimension, so, well, they can be third dimension also, but they can be programmed in a spiritual connection can program it. Well, it's technically a high vibrational electricity, so it can't be manipulated very easily or activated, if you want to use that word. So your time here, of course, many of you come here to forget, because so many of you just forgot what is for the little things of life, which are very important. They're little, but they're very big. And it's like recalibrating yourself, whatever it might be. This world can bring out the worst in others, but also bring the best. That's up to you. When it brings out the worst, it's like your soul has a journey. It's like it has a part of it that needs to experience that. Get it out of your system. If you need to be a dictator, go be a dictator. It won't judge you on how good you were at it. And some are a little bit too good at it. Well, yes, what we're speaking from is a level of neutrality, being neutral. And everyone has their own version of that. Well, some do cater to their needs. But for the most part, an experience is an experience, good or bad. It's an experience. And you have enough bravery to do it. Even those that don't want to do anything with their lives are still having the bravery of not doing anything with their lives. It's like, what does it feel like if I just throw my whole life away? There's plenty of that going on your planet. Well, some have been so productive in higher dimensional realms, they need to do something different, and being lazy is one of them. Of course, that can get out of control, which it has been. You can also say the Atlanteans are lazy. Well, I mean, a lot of what happened in Atlantis could have been stopped. It wasn't. And you can say that some of that's influence from the humans. When the humans are just doing their own thing, and you can say the end of Atlantis was inevitable then. But once again, Atlantis could have been stopped, and your world would be very different right now. But the ideas for Atlantis and other higher dimensional places to be erased from your reality, but only to be discovered because you're basically upgrading from what they taught you. This is all about upgrade. It's not about going backwards. I mean, yes, there's some Atlantean knowledge there, of course, but you're moving above it, above their teachings, because they can be destroyed that easily. Yes, it means that they have a lot of their own darkness they're still dealing with. So, what's this? Greetings to you. I am Thoth. The genetics of your reality, your explanation for being here, yes, it's to perfect the human experience and take it to a level that has not been seen before. Yes, to erase your fate and go forward. Yes, many are going through a great amount of karma, but realize also difficult to hear, but also the beauty of it. Well, that you would even some run for their karma, but to actually experience it is, of course, quite difficult. But to be brave enough to experience all levels of it, to not be ashamed, not to judge yourself, and to move forward from it when the time is right. To rebuild yourself and to better than what you were before. So that's what this is all is. It's just basically becoming a better human. As you have heard, yes, this better version of yourself. But realize all the other bad versions of you still have significant reasons for it. Meaning that is there a right or wrong or a bad or not really. You need all of them. Because you go through all your versions of yourself and you go backwards a lot of times to enhance yourself, to improve. Well, where sometimes you improve, sometimes you go backwards on other things. So there is still some do. It all depends. Many of you are, yes, have had interactions with worlds that have not been the most positive, and you're here part of the rehabilitation of other planets, but also this one. It's like some of you have had difficulties with other planets, some of you caused some trouble there. But you came to one of the worlds that had the biggest problems. It's like, okay, well, you come to Earth and make up for all the other things you did and help heal this place. And it all is about your free will. If you want to improve it, it will happen and you will be rewarded for it at the same time. It all depends on what you want to go through. Of course, with karmic connections, it's hard for the life to move because it's a desert period. There's a lot of internal workings there that have to be. There's a lot of connections there that have to be fulfilled before you can be let out. Like you have to stay at a certain place for a long time to heal your soul. It's not always going to make itself clear. You can call it a lot of paperwork, as your world will call it, but it's just a lot of. Yeah, some people can feel like they're kind of like in a prison on a planet, basically. A prison. Like if you can't leave where you want to go, it's like, that's strange. Every time I try to leave here, I come back. I won't call it a prison sentence, but it's a rehabilitation at a level that isn't really understood in the third dimension. That also, you're healing the reality that you're connected to. Like in Florida, is a Bermuda Triangle energy that's being healed at this time. Well, for the Bermuda Triangle to be more activated, but to not have the same mistakes of the past. And that's another thing. Atlantean memories, when they start to come back to some of you, it'll be hard to believe. There are extremely positive lifetimes there, but also there's dark ones. And the dark one is like, I'm not sure if I'm believing this or not. But then you look at some of your habits, like, oh, I'm addicted to coffee. That might be a reason. What am I hiding from? So you'd be surprised how many genetic engineers from Atlantis are still currently here. Of course, they're part of your Nazi program, but it goes much further than that. Well, some just can't seem to stop tinkering with life. I mean, you can experiment, but some just go too far. And they've done it over and over again in lifetimes. Genetic engineering just gets out of hand. Your pharmaceutical companies are doing it currently to society as you know it. That will be reversed, but society has to recognize it more clearly. And that's a part of your spiritual development, is healing the body, right? But all these elements that are here can heal the body. And there's this. I mean, sometimes you have to make your body sick for it to be healed. A lot of it is karmic connections. Also, once again, yeah, the karma, the body and the karma. Like if you have an illness or some kind of difficulties there, those are probably one of the harder. Of course, all karmic ties are hard, but those are pretty hard. It's like why can't I heal my body? Everything I do, nothing works. Yeah, because there's still karma to be healed. So it's like if you have an illness or smoking, and sometimes it is bad decisions, but not always. A lot of times, it just basically has a karmic connection. Now, some people have been royalty in this lifetime, this world, at one time, and they feel like they can do whatever they want. And it worked out in other lifetimes, but this one's not working out. It's like, if I do what I want, it doesn't work out for me anymore. And those are very rough lifetimes. But you're used to just having the world at your feet and things not working for you. So there's a lot of inner work that needs to be realization. The past does matter. Your own past with Earth or any other planet, but most of you have lifetimes here in some form. It's always had to make itself entirely clear. Well, it's like you're bringing your lifetimes back into yourself. Right now, for many of you, they're stretched out. You bring them back into yourself and you start remembering them. When the time is right, it can be overwhelming at the same time. But this is how you move your earth up. The more you know about yourself, you move up the frequency levels. Not an easy find, though. You don't always necessarily need to know everything just yet. As some do get very impatient. And that's when the information gets kind of muddy because it's not time for it yet. So basically, a timeline download or a lifetime download just come to you just easily. Not everybody wants to see it. Oh, it doesn't matter. Well, if it doesn't matter to you, which is fine, it'll find its way to you if it's necessary.